Going on YouTube, Cloverblast here, back with another Scarlet Violet video, and today we're going to be spotlighting Umbreon for the regulationG format. So Umbreon actually has some results, in the early get-go, just because of the tools that it can bring to a particular team, right? So anytime you have like the core archetype and you're trying to find, one or two support Pokemon to finish it off, Umbreon is one of those niche Pokemon that can fill in that slot, right? Because it can give you a couple tools that are very, very useful and very splashable on different types of ideas, right? But basically, here's the idea, right? You are Dark type, right? Which means you're going to be good against the Calyrex Shadow Rider, right? Look at this bulk, 95 HP, 110 defense, 130 speed def, and then 65 speed. So now it's actually pretty decent in Trick Room. So what you can do is go for this bulky set over here where you can just go like relaxed natured, right? With no speed Umbreon. Okay, and then just go like a citrus berry or a leftover set, right? Or even like a rocky helmet idea. And then from there, the move set is pretty straightforward in terms of what you want to run. But basically, Umbreon gets access to Yawn, okay, which is really good in terms of like putting the target to sleep after one turn. So now what ends up happening is if you're up against setup Pokemon like Terapagos, for example, and then they go for Calm Mind, you can just Yawn it and they're forced to, either go to sleep or switch out and lose their boost, which is exactly what you want. And when they switch out, that creates space for you, because if you have your own setup Mon, it's almost like they're letting you set up, right? So then from there, Umbreon just keeps on yawning things and forcing switch outs, and now your opponents are out of position, and then from there, that gives you a better position, right? And like we said, you're going to be good against Calyrex. You have access to Snarl, which is actually really, really nice. And then from there, Foul Play is going to be good against a lot of the physical attackers that are running around in the meta. So if you have like Groudon going for Swords Dance, right? Or like even Zacian, for example, Foul Play is going to do a decent chunk into a lot of these mons that want to be able to set up. So you can even punish them by letting them go for their setup, because then that's just more damage that they're going to be able to take, right? And then this last slot here, you want some recoveries, you want some like good healing, right? Which is why I like Moonlight. So anytime you can go with Moonlight in the weather, so something like Groudon historically has appreciated stuff like Umbreon, right? Or I should say the other way around, where Umbreon has appreciated Groudon. You can go for these Moonlight plays in the sun, and then all of a sudden it just really heals a lot of damage, right? And then now you can go for something like Rocky Helmet, right? For, good chip damage, physically, and then you just heal over time with Moonlight, right? So it's actually really, really convenient. Terra Fairy would be my guess, for something like this. So this way you can not really whiff, but like resist the fighting type damage, which is normally super effective against you. So I would just go with something like this. You go full HP bulk here, go to about the second bump here in defense, and then the rest you can just dump here in speed def, right? Be super bulky, because you're not really meant to do damage, right? This Umbreon, just 60 special attack and attack regular, right? You're not doing that much damage. This doesn't even get toxic. Actually, does it get toxic? Okay, it gets toxic, but you don't really need that, right? You're just going for yawns, foul plays, and snarls, right? That's really what you want the Umbreon to do. Okay, so it's actually a pretty interesting niche mon. And again, because you have inner focus, you can't get intimidated, you can't get faked out, which is actually very, very convenient in and itself, right? So, consider like your Groudon going for Swords Dance here, right? If you click Yawn on the right Pokemon, they have to switch out, which means Groudon now has the space to set up the Swords Dance, or whatever comes in will take a Precipice Blades, right? Which is actually very, very nice. So all things considered, this is actually pretty good synergy between the two in a way, right? So now what I'm going to show you is just some of those teams from Limitless tournaments that have done well and used Umbreon, to its fullest potential. And then we'll build our own Umbreon Groudon team, and then we'll test it out and see how it does. All right, so this is Salvi's team, right? This is from the Time Traveler Championship. So pretty good top cut results here. 9th place. And, he had a Ho-Oh team with Umbreon, which is pretty cool. Right, so Ho-Oh, Rillaboom, and Urshifu for Rapid Strike. There's your Fire Water Grass Core. Ho-Oh has Tailwind here. So now imagine like Torn Urshifu stuff with Tailwind Surging Strikes. Now you get that with Ho-Oh. And then at the same time, you get Fake Out Surging Strikes. But over here's the Umbreon Goggles set. So again, Snarl, Foul Play, Yawn, Moonlight. So here's the idea here, all right? And again, Terapagos is also pretty good against fairy stuff. But you can mitigate damage with special attacks, with Snarl. And then Yawn just forces out of position stuff. So this way you can set up Calm Mind, right? Which is actually very, very convenient. And then Landorus, Umbreon, again, this is what you're going to bring to like your Trick Room stuff. but you got stuff for like Kyogre, you got stuff for Zacian, right? So it's pretty good. Like all in all, I like this team a little bit. It's not too bad. It almost, you know, again, Umbreon has a niche here, right? You if you just take it off and you look at this 5, right? My question is, what's your check to Calyrex? Because this is Calm Mind Raging Bolt. This is not Snarl. Okay, well, I need to add an Umbreon here. So now I fulfilled that role on my team, right? So that's how you have to think about it when you're trying to round out a squad with niche Pokemon. And if you need that extra slot, you have to consider what role do I need that hasn't been covered in terms of, you know, trying to have a matchup into a meta-specific restricted, right? So Umbreon does fulfill that role. Then as we keep going, this is another interesting Groudon team, right? So even though he's 3-3 here, but I still think this is correct in terms of how you want to use Umbreon. I guess the only thing is what I would do is take the Scovillain and throw it away, because this is just like some shenanigans, right? But, you know, Groudon, Raging Bolt, Flutter Mane is correct here, right? And then you just round it out here with Umbreon. Garganical is another good niche Pokemon with Wide Guard here. I don't think you need Garganical though on this. I think you choose one. Either you do Garganical or you do Umbreon. I don't think you do both. And I think that kind of held him back a little bit. You know, just not having Incineroar or Rillaboom here just makes things a little bit interesting in terms of like trying to set up here. And this is, yeah, and again, there's no Swords Dance Groudon here, which I think you will very much appreciate if you did have Fake Out Pressure here. So that's my thought process. But I understand what he's trying to do with the Scovillain, right? With the Spicy Extract, right? So it's okay. I respect the attempt. But over here, 6-3 from double EVs over here, right? You got Espeon and Umbreon. This must have been like some kind of dare challenge over here, because now we're also using Rayquaza over here. 6-3 result in the Wide League. Okay, let me check this out, right? The Wide League tournament. Okay, so that's pretty interesting. I respect it. Like, this is a cool team. Rayquaza and Gouging Fire. Double Dragon and double EVs over here, right? And there's the Rillaboom. So, again, Swords Dance Rayquaza, you know, just clicking Extreme Speed on everything. And then Gouging Fire, clicking Howl, making Rayquaza do more damage. But all in all, like, I understand, like, Rayquaza, Gouging Fire, Rillaboom, Ogerpon. There's a core. And then, once again, Umbreon fulfilling that niche. You know, again, where's your Calyrex matchup? Umbreon fulfills that job over here. Why is there an Espeon? Don't ask me. I have no idea what role that is fulfilling, but okay, sure. All right, then over here, all right, another Groudon team. And again, this is Gouging Fire Groudon. Very much expected. 7-1. That's pretty good. Did that win? It did win. Oh, here we go. We got the clickbait thumbnail. Umbreon won a regulationG tournament, right? With Groudon. So, again, Flutter Mane, Groudon, Gouging Fire. Very standard stuff, okay? Dragon Fairy idea, and Groudon, you know, it can benefit here. It's also enabling the Gouging Fire, as we said, and you know, and you can go for Howl here, along with Swords Dance, which is also nice. And then here's your Chenpal to make everything do more damage. And then Cornerstone Ogerpon is also pretty good in the sun. And again, Umbreon fulfilling that niche with the Rocky Helmet. Yawn, Moonlight, Foul Play, Snarl, very standard set, like we said. And I just think Groudon is just the way to go with it. It's very easy to use. Okay, and it fulfills that role that you need Umbreon to fulfill. All right, so let's go back into Team Builder over here. Let's go ahead and build our own squad. And then from here, you know, let's test it out. Okay, so again, we won't really change the formula. Let's just go with what works and what we know is solid and consistent. So let's go Flutter Mane and let's go Raging Bolt over here. And then at the same time, let's just go Incineroar and Rillaboom here. So double Fake Out stuff, which means we can create the space to set up the Swords Dance on the Groudon. And then at the same time, you can also create that space and set up the Calm Mind on the Raging Bolt over here, right? So this is going to be your lefties Raging Bolt over here. Here's your Rocky Helmet, Umbreon. Groudon here, again, Precipice Blades, you know, Heat Crash, Swords Dance, and then Protect over here with the Clear Amulet, so this way you can't get intimidated. And then at the same time, Flutter Mane here. We'll make this a Focus Sash Flutter Mane this time around. And again, the whole idea is, you know, there's just so much damage, you know, coming around that the physical Flutter Mane isn't as good as it once was. So I think Sash 252 is the way to go. Icy Wind and Taunt is pretty solid along with Protect. Terra Fairy, obviously, for a little bit more Moonblast damage. Groudon, Terra Fire, so this way, you know, you don't get burned at the same time. And then also resist the grass damage. But Raging Bolt here, again, Thunderclap, Calm Minds is going to be annoying to deal with. And then at the same time, you can also go for Dragon Pulse or Draco Meteor. Up to you how you want to do this. But I think Pulse is correct. Not too bad. You know, again, after 1 or 2 Calm Minds, this thing is going to sweep. If you're able to do that, great. Terra Fairy on the Raging Bolt over here. You know, again, you know, for the mirror matchup is also relatively solid. And then Incin, just standard Incineroar stuff. You know, safety goggles, fake out pressure, flare blitz, knockoff, and then parting shot, right? And then, you know, you can also consider Will-O-Wisp, but I think we already have Yawn for status, so that's okay as well. Rillaboom, again, Assault Vest, Grassy Terrain, and again, fake out, like we said, Grassy Glide, Wood Hammer, and U-turn for that pivot move and reset of fake out, right? So in terms of Terra options, we did most of them already. Again, Incineroar, you know, for the Ghost, just trying to whiff that fighting move. Rillaboom, also with Terra Fire over here. We already did Umbreon sets. Groudon, pretty standard. Let's just go max HP. Okay, let's go to the bump, right, with 156 investment. Right, and again, if you don't know what EV bumps are, make sure you comment in the video description asking what are EV bumps, right? Because, you know, if you're trying to play this game and you want to be more fundamentally sound in creating EV spreads, you got to know what EV bumps are. So ask me at the video description in the comment section below, what are EV bumps? All right, a little bit of speed, not too much, right? And then the rest can just go into special defense like this. You know, 112 being that, you know, key VGC benchmark, where after 2 IC wins, you can outspeed a Calyrex Shadow Rider, for example, right? And then Fluttermane here, you know, 252, 252, pretty standard. Timid Nature, get that boost in the sun. Raging Bolt, modest, 108. Again, 100 is the benchmark. There's the bump, right? Let's go one more. So this way we get a nice even number for the Calm Mind. And then Leftovers Recovery is also going to be good. So I'm going to go 224 here. I think that's very good, very optimal. You know, again, Rillaboom, Grassy Terrain, along with Leftovers. If you do a little bit of quick math, you know, with 224, dividing by 16, that's going to be 14 HP recovery. So that's very solid. You just need 1 point in Spadef. You know, a little bit of speed, you know, just for mirror matchup. Dump the rest into defense. Look, man, you're going for Calm Minds. You got Intimidate support. This Raging Bolt's going to be bulky. All right, so let's just make it take damage and then set up Calm Minds, you know, get recovery, protect and Rillaboom terrain, and we should be all right. Incineroar here. So Careful Nature has always been my route. The same Incin spread that I've always been using. 236 HP, about 156. Here's the second benchmark. Okay, you know, just a little bit of speed for the mirror matchup. About 85 is all right. Then 76 defense. That's really all you need out of your Incin. Just very standard stuff. Rillaboom, same idea. Again, Adamant Nature. Let's optimize. Let's go to 192 HP for our HP mark. Let's go to the bump here at 196 attack. A little bit of speed. You know, we can just put 1 point there. But other than that, you know, a little bit of defense and then dump the rest in Spadef like this. Get a nice even number, you know, for the Assault Vest optimization there, right? But again, this is like very general, very quick in terms of trying to utilize Umbreon. I just took like a very standard Groudon core and slapped on Umbreon because I needed that matchup for Calyrex. Technically, I had Incineroar already, but this is also going to be good, you know, in some of those Trick Room games, just be able to yawn things and force them to go to sleep, giving me that space to set up Calm Minds or Swords Dance, right? So I think it's actually pretty solid. All right, so here's one test game here, and it is against a Terapagos player with Comfey and Incin Mienshao here. So this is pretty standard. The other thing is he has a Milotic here, and he has a Sinistra, so that's not as standard, but I understand the Sinistra, right? It's more healing for Terapagos. So this is actually pretty cool. I like it a lot. But again, Umbreon's going to give us that space where if we yawn that Terapagos, it's going to be forced to switch. And then that's going to give me that Swords Dance idea. So I'm just going to lead those two. All right, so there's the Milotic. All right, I would never bring Incin. Okay, here's Groudon, and here is the Umbreon, right? So there's the Terra Shift. So immediately I just go for the Yawn, right? And I want to see what he does. So here's my free Swords Dance, right? And there's his Calm Mind, and there's his Coil. So Milotic is probably doing these Coil Hypnosis shenanigans, which is also very annoying. But I respect it, right? So now there it is. He switches out, right? So we've already created that space, which is good. Now there's the Coil again. Unfortunate, right? But here's a Yawn. I could have also clicked P-Blades there, but Groudon has +2. Precipice Blades, that's pretty decent damage. Now, again, Milotic does has +2. He's going for Muddy Waters. He's actually not even going for the sleep stuff, right? But Uproar, Sinistra is a tech I'm pretty I can't believe I'm seeing that, but you know, I respect the tech. So let me just start pressuring the Milotic here. Let me get rid of the Sinistra. Let me get in Rillaboom here. You know, Muddy Waters are doing stuff, but yeah. Now, the question is this within Grassy Glide range? I think it is, but, you know, Grassy Terrain is not helping me out here. And Kofi's just going to heal him anyway, right? So all I have to do is just, you know, get rid of the Comfey here, stop him from healing all this, cut off the sources for Terapagos' survivability, right? And then I'll take a sleep, right? That's okay. I got rid of the Comfey. I'm okay. Okay, but now he also will be able to create space because now he has hypnosis stuff. So he's kind of like the Umbreon idea that we have, you know, going for sleep stuff. So we break the Terra Shell. He's going to Terra now. There's his first Calm Mind. All right, he's going to be looking to sweep here. And now I have to go to sleep. Groudon, you did your best. Okay, so I kind of have to switch the Rillaboom here. Okay, I don't want it to die completely, but I am able to remove the Milotic. So I did get a little bit of a bailout there, which is good. So it helps me a lot because now the Terapagos is +2. He's going to get ready to sweep here. So I'm just trying to get a little bit more of a recovery while I can. But I want to try and protect Groudon first and get Rillaboom out of here. And the fact that I outspeed is important, right? So I'm going to protect, which is good. Rillaboom, I'm going to re-switch, re-pivot, and I'm going to go into Raging Bolt here because I know I can soak it. There's the Terra Starstorm. I soak it somewhat, okay? But now I just have to keep chipping. So Thunderclap, and then into P-Blades. That should be enough because, again, you're not full HP, so and you've taken some damage, and we're +2. So Groudon stayed on the field, all right? Umbreon forced the initial switch out, which meant he couldn't really have any source of damage, right? The Milotic was clicking coils and was clicking some hypnosis, and I did get bailout by a little bit of a wake, but once I removed and pressured things, it was rather an easier game. All right, so there it is. Again, very, very quick Groudon Umbreon team. So let me know what you think of Umbreon, and let me know if you try out this squad in particular, right? And again, if you're trying to build your own team for regulationG, make sure you sign up for coaching on the channel. Tier 3 sub gets you that team building perk that all of you subs get, right? That a lot of you take advantage of. So we're glad to help. And if you need help for regulationG, you know, come to us. We'll be able to help you out. It gets you a Discord call. Then we can build you a squad from scratch just like this, hashing out all the EV spreads. If you're going to Indiana, we can help you out as well. So if you need some help with that, great, hit us up. But other than that, Umbreon, decent niche. So go ahead and use it and let me know how it goes. All right, but we'll be back with another video in the next one. Peace out and have a good one.